Hey there, I'm Tyler Lunsford, and you're watching a review of Mario Tarasini and Sansminds hands-free. What is up, people? My name is Tyler Lunsford, and welcome back to another magic trick review here on the channel. Now, if you're new here, then definitely please consider subscribing and take a look around the channel at my past reviews. Now, if you are new here, then welcome. Thank you for stopping by and spending some time with me today. I really do appreciate it. So, like I said, thanks. Seriously, you didn't have to click on this video, so I appreciate you doing that and just trusting me to give you, just take 10 minutes of your day and give you a little bit of knowledge about a magic trick, so thank you for that. And also thank you to Mystique Factory for sending me this product so I can do the review for you people out there. And if you'd like to purchase it from Mystique Factory, you can use code Tyler10 at checkout to get 10% off your entire first order with them. Now, with that said, I don't want to waste any more time. I want to go ahead and get into this review of hands-free right now. First off, you need to know what actually is hands-free. Well, hands-free is a visual variation of the TNR, the torn and restored, and transposition plot. Now, what happens here if you have your spectator select a card, they keep that card, you rip it, you give them a corner from it, you also give them the whole card, they keep it in between their hands, they sandwich it between their hands, and then you take a card for yourself. Now, with that card, you do the same thing, you rip the corner, you put it on the back of it, but you then put the corner on the ground while it's on top of the card. The corner restores itself to the card, but when you flip it over, it's not the card you selected, it's the card they had in their hands earlier, and now they have the card that you selected. It's crazy. It's hard to explain, which is why you're watching the trailer right now, but it's a transposition and a visual TNR combined together. Let's talk about what you'll be receiving if you decide to purchase it. We'll be getting a clear plastic case, and inside that case is an instructional link to a tutorial video that's 40 minutes online that you can view, where they teach you how to make the gimmick and also how to perform it, and obviously how it works. They also provide a red rider back design card already pre-made. They also provide a gimmick pre-made. It comes in a red rider back design, and it's going to be a face card. Now that you know what it is and what you receive, let's talk more in depth about some questions you may have, such as how difficult is it to perform. It's not difficult to perform. I'd say you need some basic sleight of hand moves, but if you've been doing card tricks for a while, then you have these moves down, and the actual restoration is pretty much self-working, so you don't need to worry about that. But you will just need some basic sleight of hand moves, so if you're into card tricks, you probably already know them. How are the angles when it comes to performing hands-free? The angles are pretty good. You can do this either with just your audience in front of you, or you can make it work to where you can perform surrounded, but I would perform my audience in front of me just because it's easier. But if you perform with your audience around you, you might have to hold some things close to your chest, and you might not want to perform that way. But if you're okay with performing close to your chest, then perform surrounded. But the people behind you wouldn't really see what was going on, so they wouldn't even see a trick. So why would you have people behind you? But for the most part, you can perform surrounded if you want to make it work that way. Is there any DIY or initial setup you have to do for hands-free? There's actually no DIY involved with this. That's right, a Sansminds trick that comes pre-made, which they have been doing lately with most of their effects, so thank you Sansminds for putting this together before you actually send it out. I appreciate that, I do. Now, another thing is the nature of this gimmick is going to require some repairs eventually once you've used it quite frequently and quite a bit. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying if you've watched my videos or you've dealt with magic tricks in before. This is a fragile gimmick to an extent. If you use this a lot, you're going to have to repair it, and they don't include supplies to repair it with, which they should have, but I'll harp on that later. Is this examinable? The gimmick itself is not examinable, obviously, because it's a gimmick, but the card they're holding that, transposes, it changes, that card is examinable, and if you'd like to do a certain move to get the card that has now restored itself examinable, you can do that. So you can end examinable if you would like to. Are there any negatives to performing hands-free? Unfortunately, there are a couple. One is that the timing of the restoration isn't under your control, and that's just not something I really like. I would prefer that if I'm doing a TNR, that the restoration is under my control and I get to choose when the card's going to restore. But if you're okay with not being under control of that, you basically sit the card down on the floor, and you kind of got to wait a few seconds for the restoration to happen. Another negative is that it doesn't come with supplies to rebuild the gimmick, especially it doesn't include supplies at all to rebuild the gimmick. So you can't just, maybe you rebuild it once and you need to go buy it somewhere after that. No, you can't rebuild it at all. No supplies included as far as that goes, which I really don't like. I really think that if something needs to be rebuilt, you need to include enough supplies to at least do it once in case someone breaks while practicing. Like, they break it, what do they gotta do? They gotta wait a week for the material to come in the mail once they've bought it from somewhere, and nobody wants to wait a week when you're trying to, deal with this gimmick and learn how to do a trick when you're so excited about it. So at least include supplies to do it once. Another negative I would say is that the gimmick doesn't work for me 100% of the time. Now, what I mean by that is I've played with it probably I've tried to do the restoration 40 times, 30, 40 times. I've been trying to get this restoration down, but it does not work for me completely. I would say it actually restores perfectly 20% of the time. Now maybe I just got a defective unit, and if I did, then I will reach out to Sansminds and talk to them about it and possibly get another copy or learn how to make it better, because they do teach you how to make it on the downloadable tutorial that you get. You learn how to make it. But I didn't remake it because if something comes pre-made for me, I want it to work. So I'm just saying the pre-made gimmick that I got did not work 100% of the time, but it did work maybe 10-20% of the time. I'm just warning you, I might have a defective unit. I will update the comment section when I get more information about that. What are the positives to performing hands-free? Well, like I said, the timing is not really a positive, but I do like that you can perform the restoration hands-free, so obviously it's in the trick. But I think that's nice. You get to perform the TNR without actually touching the car when the restoration happens. That's cool. Another thing I like about it is the visual. It just looks nice. And another thing is the packaging. That's right, Sansminds sent out a trick. They produced a trick that wasn't in a DVD case. Are you as shocked as I am? I am too. And also, obviously, there's no DVD inside of here. It was a link to an instructional video online. So honestly, shout out to Sansminds for that. That's a big step up for you guys. I really appreciate you not putting this in a DVD case and giving me a DVD when I would have to go find my DVD player and put the DVD in, learn the trick, and then do it without, just pulling out my phone or my computer and typing in this link, which I really like. So thanks for not putting a DVD case in there. What should this retail as? Well, this currently retails as $25 US, and is that a fair price? Honestly, for what you get a pre-made gimmick, right? You don't have to worry about making the gimmick. You will have to rebuild it if it breaks on you, but initially you don't have to do anything. So I really appreciated that, and I'd say $25 is a fair price, but they should have included supplies to rebuild the gimmick at least once. And also, I'm sure I just got a defective unit, but I wish it worked 100% of the time. That would make it worth the money, but I'm just going to assume that I have a defective gimmick, and I'll update the comment section, like I said, once I've reached out and gotten further word. What would I give this out of 10? I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. The reason it's getting that rating is because, one, you can't control the timing of the restoration. Another thing, you can't actually, expect this to work 100% of the time, at least with the unit that I received. Once again, I'm not going to talk about the defective stuff, but it doesn't work 100% of the time for me. I'd like it to work 100% of the time for it to get a great rating. Another thing is they should have included supplies for the gimmick so you could rebuild it, right? Who wants to wait to rebuild your gimmick if you don't have supplies for it? But if you're into gimmick building, you have the supplies lying around. Just wish they would have included just a little bit of it to get you started. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like to purchase hands-free, the link for it is in the description down below. Now, also in the description is a link to my Instagram page. There you can follow me on Instagram at Tarasini, and there I post all sorts of behind-the-scenes, Q&As, sneak peeks. You can even ask me questions, like, slide my DMs if you have a question about something that I've posted here on my YouTube channel. I don't mind answering it. Now, thank you so much for being here. Seriously, you didn't have to take the time out of your day to watch my video, so I really appreciate you doing that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And hopefully I'll see you in another review that I post sometime soon. See ya.